not ignore that there is a wider group of individuals linked to this attack. The threat level should be increased for the time being from severe to critical. This means that their assessment is not only that an attack remains highly likely, but that a further attack may be imminent.
British authorities frantically hunting for perhaps more accomplices to Monday's terror attack as the UK Prime Minister Theresa May warns of another attack. It could be imminent.
Joining us live from London, dailymail.com, global columnist Katie Hopkins. Good morning to you, Katie.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm very impressed with your article in the Daily Mail online. I'd like to read a little bit of it so that we can talk about it so our audience who probably hasn't had a chance to read it. You were commenting on the mayor of Manchester. He said it's time to get back to business as usual, and you said, I want to scream at him. Business as usual, business as usual. Tell that to the mother of 16-year-old Georgina Callender. Someone slaughtered her most special thing, the tiny baby she carried, birthed, equipped with all the things that she could protect her from the world with, smiling at her loveliness as she became a young woman. And you say it is business as usual. The dead never get to carry on as normal. And you go on to say the next time it could be my daughter, my child. Why did you write that?
And thank you for reading that. That column is at dailymail.com. But I feel as a mother, and that's really one of the truths I want to tell, is I may work in the kind of media game, but I am ultimately a mother of two little girls, 12 and 11, and a boy aged 8. And I knelt at the end of my bed yesterday morning, and I just wanted to be ill because of the news that I just heard. You know, and that's throughout the day. We then had little 8-year-old Safi. She died, and I know that the news teams where I work went home in tears because of the truths they've had to read that we don't even get to see. Too horrible to share. And what I find so awful for this country is that we have leaders who say this is business as usual. We will carry on as normal. And I think what we're starting to see is chinks in that. People are saying, no, this is not normal. No, this is not business as usual. No, we are not strong. No, we are not united. And still Theresa May says terrorists will never win. And I think many of us feel like, well, if this is them losing, we really don't want to see them winning. And I think we can honestly say we don't stand united now. The only thing we can be united about is that we need to demand action, like your last guest brilliantly put. And I think the other thing that I really wanted to share is the truths in my email inbox from mothers saying that they're frightened to go out. They will not take their child to the mall this weekend. That their husbands texting me saying they won't go out for meals anymore with their wives. They won't risk their children. Those are the real vigils in this country, not the propaganda stuff you're seeing on our state broadcaster of these people making heart gestures to the sky. No. The real vigils are people inside their homes with small babies that they are frightened to take out. And this is in a country, 21st century Britain, where another attack is imminent. You know, I wonder how big that gulf is between leaders that say we are stronger, we are defiant, versus the fact we're going to have tanks trundling along our streets any day soon. We are not defiant. We are not strong. We are weak. And we just let a jihadi who just returned from Libya and possibly Syria back to the UK, we're not allowed to call him an Islamic terrorist. You are not allowed to use the word Islam in relation to him. We have to call him evil. You'll hear in the vocabulary being used, no one identifies him as an Islamic terrorist. It's about making it this nebulous thing, this evil, which means you can't do anything about it because you can't identify it properly. And I think we're saying, no, we want to hear the truth. This is Islamic terrorism, and we need to start fighting
Katie, but
back.
who are you speaking
but sadly,
for?
our leaders aren't doing that.
Is this just Katie Hopkins speaking, or do you think that the other people in Britain are getting that fed up to stop taking it on the chin? And it doesn't mean tanks in the streets. It means don't let the guy from Syria back in without questioning and surveilling, or back in at all.
Absolutely. I would never, ever dream of saying that I speak for Britain. I see the lefties, the Liberals, Lily Allen do that all the time. I speak for Britain. No one speaks for Britain. I do speak for the voices that can no longer be heard because they've been silenced by the PC, who threatened them with arrest. I've been threatened with investigation for speaking out like this. It's no problem for me. If that's what they need to do to silence me, they can carry on. I will stand strong against this. But I do think I speak for people who recognise that we're making choices in this country.
Yep.
We chose to let a jihadi back in, and we chose, therefore, for our little girls to be slaughtered. We choose to protect the human rights of jihadis, 3,000 of whom are roaming those streets because their human rights matter more. We're defending that over our small babies. And I think many mothers like me, many fathers, many normal people, perhaps, just feel that we've had enough now. We've had enough. We're tired of buying into the narrative that we're strong and the jihadis are weak. No, we've been knocked down, we've been trampled on, and I think the general population is fed up with being treated so awfully, seeing our little ones slaughtered, just to look after the rights of these terrorists that want to kill us.
Katie, in Great Britain, there's a famous saying, keep calm and carry on. But you say, you know, you shouldn't be calm. We shouldn't carry on. It's time to do something about this, because when you talk about the people who have contacted you and say, my kids are afraid to go out, we're not going to go shopping, we're not going to go out for dinner, essentially, and we've heard this a number of times, when terrorists are able to strike that kind of fear into the hearts of the people they're targeting, they win.
Absolutely, and what I'm seeing, you know, I've had people kindly leaking to me things that they've been sent, school teachers being told, you know, this isn't about Islam, this is not the Quran. And also, this is a drive to increase reporting of hate crimes. So it said, we will not tolerate hate, please report hate. So we will see in the next couple of weeks reports of a spike in hate crime. I guarantee you that. And I think what we also heard yesterday was a man saying, we will, it was the leader of the Greater Manchester Police Force, we will not tolerate hate crime in the UK. And I think for many of us, we're kind of saying, hold on, we'll tolerate the slaughter of an innocent 8-year-old, beautiful little Safi, but we won't tolerate hate. You know, we have our priorities all wrong, and what I'm saying is, to Great Britain, we now need to stand united, but united against terror. We will stand united in calling for action, demanding a response. We want jihadists out of this country or locked up. They cannot have rights over our sons and daughters.
Since that Belgium and France agreed, the cadence of attacks are picking up, the carnage is growing, and nothing seems to be done. It didn't even seem like there were metal detectors in the biggest theater in Europe, and that is a travesty.
It is a travesty. I certainly wouldn't be allowing my children to go to any big gathering, and I'm not one to be easily, you know, run over, as it were, but I would not let my children loose right now in the city. I walked here this morning, I walked past a big group of students, foreign students, and all I could think was, oh, God, that's a big group of kids to be in one place. Oh, what are they doing there? Why are they there? And behind them was a police van. There is a lot of police presence. It feels frightening here in the UK. It feels like we're under attack. And what really breaks my heart is that we have let this happen. We have invited these soldiers of a religion onto our streets, 7 million more waiting on the African coast to come, and we will welcome them over with our open borders. It destroys me that this country that I love so much, that I wanted to fight for and defend, has been allowed to fall at the hands of politicians who still won't call this for what it is. This is Islamic terror, and we need to fight back.
Katie, you hate to tell people not to go out and enjoy their lives, because then the terrorists win, then they have affected us, and we don't want to go to concerts and things like that. You're right, we do think about this, especially as mothers, now when we see kids in big groups. What have you told your daughters? What message do we need to be telling our kids?
Absolutely. Well, I am starting to equip them with the things that I think they need to know. So at breakfast yesterday, they saw me being very upset. They heard the news. They heard about a bomb made of ball bearings, of nuts and bolts. They were asking me about it. This is an 11- and 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. They were saying, why would a man put nuts and bolts into a bomb? And I was saying that it causes more injury to more people. And the children said, well, I'd rather be shot than killed by ball bearings. And my 8-year-old was like, yeah, I'd rather be shot quickly. That's a conversation.
Nice breakfast conversation. Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable indeed. All right, Katie Hopkins joining us today from London, from thedailymail.com. Katie, thank you very much. Great perspective.